Sports. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's wins and losses, highs and lows. It's effort, respect, and dedication. The High School Sports Beat. Sports. It's who we are.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Welcome to our season finale as we continue to look at some of the stories we've covered over the last 9 years. And this week, we begin with the outdoor track and field finals from May of 2013 with a collection of the best Section 5 has to offer. Here's Bill Pucko.
It's a changing of the guard, but the track and field class of 2013 isn't going quietly. The Section 5 championships for the top two classes were held at Penfield High School, and the soon-to-be graduates represented well. Senior Brennan Root, Rush Henrietta High School, headed to Canisius in Buffalo on scholarship. Root runs the 3200 and the steeplechase. It is in the steeplechase that Root really excels. He lost the Section 5 title last year as a junior to then Hilton sophomore Tyler Ranke. Those two continue to wage a spirited battle for the crown this year. The steeplechase is one of our favorite events and among the strangest in the sport. The boys run 3,000 meters and have to clear 5 barriers, not hurdles. These don't move per lap. The real feature of the steeplechase is a 12-foot-long water pit, the landing for a barrier and a favorite spectator attraction. The freakishness of the event notwithstanding, Root and Ranke are two of the best. Root won the race, but failed to better his personal best, which, by the way, is the best in the country.
Pretty cool. I look at it on the computer and it feels pretty cool, and I know Tyler's not far behind, so every race is just gonna be a battle to the end.
Hey, you talk about Tyler, you're leaving this event in pretty good hands when you graduate, aren't you?
Yeah, we talked about that too, and he's gonna be by himself next year, and that's kind of sad. I wish I had more time, but he's gonna be a monster next year.
The girls have one too. She is Valerie Palermo, Webster Schrader. She'll be performing at Duquesne in Pittsburgh next year. Valerie ran third in the 3,000-meter sectional race, but throw up a few barriers and you've got a real champion. It is in the steeplechase that Palermo really excels. Her best time ranks third in the nation this year. States could be a lot of fun since the top 2 times are also from New York. In the 2,000-meter steeplechase, Valerie found what she was looking for, a chance to stand out. She won the sectional crown by an amazing 52 seconds.
It's a lot harder this year. It's nice because I could be more relaxed during it. I don't have to worry about trying to get up there to just try to get to states, because that's really the goal, kind of my goal of every season, just to get to states somehow. And then when I went to states last year, I came in 4th, and I was like, oh wow, maybe I'm actually good at this. I didn't think that I would be that great. And then this year it's harder, but it's more relaxed.
We all remember Denzel Knight of Brockport, probably a little less due to his being a 2-time Section 5 champion. He won the 400 and the triple jump, but because of his exploits on the football field. Denzel will attend Salisbury Prep in Connecticut next year with an eye on a D1 deal down the road. Denzel scored 28 touchdowns, running for 1,739 yards and gaining 2,250 all-purpose yards for the 8-1 Blue Devils. But his Section 5 career finished on the track with a win in the 400.
Makes me faster. As long as I work out during the track, I'm staying consistent with my weight for football. It's a good thing to do when you're gonna play football in the next 2 months.
Football's the thing though for you, right?
Track is it's a sport I enjoy, but don't plan on pursuing after high school.
From Webster Thomas, senior Eileen O'Hara capped her track and field career as a double winner, claiming the 800 and 1,500 meter runs. O'Hara will resurface at SUNY Binghamton next year, a Division I program. In the 1,500 final, O'Hara bettered a familiar foe, Penfield junior Katie Lembo, who would go on to win the 3,000, an event O'Hara could find herself running at college. At the shorter distance, though, Eileen found herself 4.5 seconds faster.
I definitely think I've kind of had a nice steady improvement since I first started. And I'm happy that my times are continuing to drop this year. It's a nice way to end it.
On the fast track, there's nobody better than Greece Athena's Brian Smith. Brian won 4 sectional track and field titles last year, set the sectional record in the 300 during the past indoor season, and wound up with wins in the 100, 200, and 400 meters this year. Brian plans to attend the University of Pittsburgh next year. Pity poor Corey Beasley, by the way. Yates Chayse Sr. gets almost no recognition running in Brian's shadow. Beasley finished second to Smith in both the 100 and the 200. They were even most of the way in the 100 before Brian turned it on.
I felt Corey Beasley from Gates come up on me, and I just when I felt him come up on me, I just started to pull away.
But you got like this extra gear for the last 10% of the race?
Yeah, me and my coach this weekend been working on the last part of my race, so I got that. I think I got it down today. The last burst, the last 20 to 5 meters at 100. So we got that down today, good.
But when the topic is track and field, Desmond Mobley's name invariably comes up. Des led Olympia to the Class A sectional title with his usual triple, claiming the 100 hurdles, the high, and the long jumps. Mobley will attend South Plains Junior College in Northwest Texas, a 5-time national track and field champion. His was an interesting day at the sectionals. After winning the hurdles, Mobley had to wait around to compete in the long and high jumps, which were then both run simultaneously. Mobley had to shuttle back and forth, compromising his performance, but not the result. Mobley glided over 6'4" in his first try, 4 inches lower than his personal best, said no thanks to any further attempts, and then headed down to the long jump. Desmond's second jump was the best, a seemingly effortless flight of 21 feet, 9 3/4 inches, just another day in the life of Des.
For anybody, it's kind of tough because it's different jumps, so it's like you got to change your mindset every single time. So, but I make do what I got.
Yeah. Did you prioritize the long jump?
No, I kind of just did it. I just went out there and just did whatever.
Well, you look at the 2 scores you posted. Are you happy with your day?
I could have did better, but I mean, a win's a win, so I'm not gonna complain.
So there you have it. Des, Denzel, Brian, and Root, Palermo O'Hara, and the rest of the track and field class of 2013. Another memorable year.
Well, coming up next, Matt Trabold joins us for the High School Notebook. We'll have that and more when the High School Sports Beat continues. Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to the High School Sports Beat. I am Dave Yates. It's time now for the High School Notebook, and once again this week we are pleased to be joined by Matt Trabold. Matt, thanks for hopping on board.
Thanks for having me on.
You know, we talk a lot of lacrosse, and we always focus, or it seems to anyways, on the people that put up the stats, the people that are putting up the numbers, scoring the goals, that kind of stuff. Today we want to talk a little bit about some of the defensive standouts out of Section 5.
Absolutely. Earlier in 2020 on this show, like you brought up a second ago, I brought up Section 5 products who have wowed in recent seasons in Division I women's college lacrosse, scoring goals, offensive stats. Those are the stats a lot of people look at first. So that's Emily Howershuk at Syracuse, and even a week ago talking about Emily Glagalev at Arizona State. But it cannot be forgotten that Rochester has also produced a number of defensive stars in the sport lately. In the entire country for the 2020 season, Duquesne Sydney Reed played her high school ball at Victor. She led in caused turnovers per game. That's top in the land and a big defensive stat. On top of that, one of her teammates in Aquinas grad, Alana Piano, also finished top 50 in the stat. So you like to see the connection there with Section 5 and the Dukes. When it comes to goalies, former Pittsburgh Panther Michelle Messenger, now a sophomore at Niagara, led the nation, the entire nation in save percentage in 2020. And then on the other coast, there's Webster Thomas alum Emily Resnick. After 3 seasons at Syracuse and a 2019 that saw her lead everyone at the Women's European Lacrosse Championship in points, had a lot of goals there. While playing for Team Israel, she transferred to San Diego State, where she was also top 15 nationally in caused turnovers for 2020.
Now, we love defense, but at the same time, it's so fun to talk about goals in lacrosse and some guys on the D1 level that were making some big moves this year.
Yeah, so I've brought up Chayse Ierlan a couple times already on here in 2020, and his little brother Chayse at Cornell and his Rochesterian Big Red teammates were also incredibly accomplished this most recent season. When the shortened 2020 season wrapped up for good, Cornell was undefeated and ranked second in the country in both polls, with their final game being an upset victory over then number 2 Penn State. So after 11 starts in net as a freshman, Chayse Ierlan, that little brother that I mentioned a second ago, he started all 5 games as a sophomore, and that included 10 saves apiece versus Albany and High Point. So not just getting wins, but also getting big stat days as well on top of that. Former Rondequoit Eagle and fellow sophomore John Lombardi, who was younger brother of former Penn State starting faceoff specialist Billy Lombardi. So at Cornell there, we're talking about a few different big Rochester area lacrosse, especially going into the college ranks, lacrosse families. So JJ went for 8 goals as a second-year player, including a hat trick versus Albany. So he's providing the scoring punch there for the Big Red. And an extra impressive accomplishment for him this season, he ended the year 11th nationally in shot percentage. So he's also very reliable when he's letting those shots rip.
All right, Matt, great stuff as always. It's been a great year, and as the Grateful Dead once said, what a long, strange trip it has been indeed. Thanks for being along all this time, Matt. We'll see you again next year.
It's been awesome. Thank you very much for having me on all this time.
All right, take care, bud. We're back with more of the High School Sports Beat right after this. Coming up next, the Making the Grade nominee with Kyle O'Gara, and later, Jake Zembiec plays his last game in Rochester. We'll have that when the High School Sports Beat continues.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the season finale of the High School Sports Beat. I'm Kyle O'Gara. Making the grade this week is HFL senior Hayden Smith. Hayden is described by coaches as, quote, the ultimate student athlete. Hayden is a 3-sport varsity captain in baseball, basketball, and soccer. He earned a second-team All-County nod in basketball, a first-team All-County and Player of the Year nod in baseball, and was on the All-County team for soccer. In the classroom, Hayden has a perfect 4.0 GPA and is a member of the National Honor Society. For the final time this season, this week, Hayden Smith is making the grade. I'd like to personally thank all of the incredible student athletes, athletic directors, and coaches that made this segment of the High School Sports Beat possible. Stay safe, have a great summer, and let's just try to be a little bit nicer to each other. Now here's Dave with the McArdles Section 5 Spotlight.
Thanks, Kyle, and we'd like to thank our sponsor for bringing us the Section 5 Spotlight every week, McArdles in Fairport. Come home to McArdles.
McArdles is open for takeout and delivery with DoorDash and Grubhub every day of the week. Visit our website, eatatmcardles.com.
We were ready, just like we knew that you were. Ready for the amazing moments, ready for the great finishes, ready for those championship runs. This is what you had been preparing for your entire high school career, heck, your entire life. And then, in an instant, it was taken away. There would be no walk-off wins, no overtime thrillers. The starting guns stayed silent. The thrill of victory was replaced by the agony of nothing. And we know that for all the things we missed out on, you missed out on so much more. The memories, the friendships, the bonds that make high school sports so much more than just a game. They say that time heals all wounds, and maybe it does. But the scars remain, even though they will fade over the years. We never could have guessed that when you walked out of practice in March, you would not be going back. But going back isn't in your nature. You go forward. You move on to the next challenge and take it on with the poise and resiliency that you face this one with, because you are ready. Coming up next, a historic Aquinas football team takes on Orchard Park from Salem Stadium. We'll have that when the High School Sports Beat continues.
And now to Eichel. He floated one. Score!
Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. The 2015 Little Irish finished the Section 5 season with a perfect record, and their quest for a 7th state title began in Rochester versus Orchard Park at Salem Stadium.
Without an eligibility violation to cramp its style, Aquinas was back on top of the Section 5 football world with its 9th title in 10 years. But as the unbeaten Little Irish prepared to play Orchard Park in the Western Regionals, there was cause for concern. Aquinas beat Hilton and Rush Henrietta by a mere 3 points each to get here. They looked ripe for the taking.
We knew all year long that the Section 5 Monroe County teams were really good, and I've been saying all year Hilton's is one of the best, and they were great, and Rush was great, and I think we had 2 other Pittsford and Victor were good, so it was a real tough tournament to get out of.
Aquinas came out and dictated play, stopping Orchard Park 3 and out. Ernest Edwards, back after a 2-week injury absence, promptly returned to punt 33 yards down to the Quaker 25. The 3-play drive began with a 19-yard pass play, Jake Zembiec to his 6'4" playmate, Jameer Jones. It ended on a touchdown run of 6 yards by Tyler Olbrich for the game's first points.
It's huge, especially in a game against a great team like Orchard Park. You have to get those points first. You gotta get it rolling, and it's really big.
Nevertheless, the next time the Quakers got the ball, helped by a 39-yard punt return by Joe Lasardo, that produced a drive start at the Aquinas 36, they scored. Dahl did the honors with a nifty reverse of field for the 4-yard run to the end zone and the game-tying points. It wasn't tied for long, though. Quick striking once more, Zembiec found Edwards in stride down the near side for 52 yards and a touchdown. A 2-play drive, a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, it was just a great pass by Jake. He couldn't be no better ball than that.
Is it cool to be a wideout on a team that's got a quarterback that can get you the ball on the deep route?
Yeah, because I know he can make any type of passes, so I just trust in my quarterback.
That pass, the 52-yarder, you can hardly throw a better ball there, can you?
Yeah, no, it was great to have Ernest back, and I left him hanging a little bit, but if I can help him not break his stride, then it'll be a perfect pass.
Orchard Park continued to move the ball on the Irish defense. But Aquinas made 2 big 4th-down stops. Dahl was stripped of the ball in a great play by senior Sam Yotis at the Aquinas 7 on a 4th and half. It was a half of missed opportunities for Orchard Park. Not so Aquinas, which managed to produce a near-perfect 79-yard scoring drive that ended with a mere 27 seconds left on the clock, and Jones in the end zone again. A mere 6 yards of offense separated the two teams statistically, but Aquinas had a 21-7 halftime lead. Aquinas got the ball first in the second half. Zembiec rolling out through his 3rd touchdown pass of the contest. 33 yards to Jason Hawks, a game changer, making it 28-7 Aquinas.
I wasn't getting the ball a lot today, but my team was doing great, and coach made the call. I made a good move, got open, and I scored.
At that point, did you think you had it? Those 28 points, was that the point where you think, you know what, we got this?
Yeah, it's when our offense starts rolling, our defense starts rolling, the whole team gets together, and we start doing great.
The route was on. Before the quarter was over, Zembiec found Edwards again for the score. Jake was 15 for 21 passing, 230 yards, and 4 touchdowns. The last scoring drive for the Irish was a classic. 52 yards on 10 plays, all clock-crunching runs, with Olbrich finishing how he started in the end zone. (42-7) was the final, a precision-like effort that kept Aquinas in the running for its 4th state title in the last 9 years. Jake Zembiec, among the best ever to play the position in Section 5. This was Jake's last local game in a stellar 4-year varsity career. Was this a good game? I mean, the numbers you put up, the way the team performed, the way you played, is this how you would have liked to have ended it?
Yeah, this is awesome, our last game in Rochester. And I think for the past couple of weeks we've been struggling a little bit, not playing our best, and we ramped it up tonight and we got a big win.
Aquinas completed their unbeaten season with a 44-19 win over Saratoga for the state championship. We'd like to thank the athletes, teams, and coaches in Section 5. Thanks for watching all season long. Have a great summer, and please take care and be safe.